Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Amber and today we are playing with Loki, the new show on Disney Plus. First episode came out today. I am on my lunch break right now because I couldn't wait any longer. Um, and I work a full-time job. So this is about the only time I was going to have up until about 9 o'clock this evening. I wanted to at least get the watching done so I can do the editing later, post it for you guys before the end of the day. Anyway, so I'm very excited for this show. We've already had WandaVision come out from Marvel, which was amazing. And we had Falcon and the Winter Soldier come out. It was also amazing. I expect nothing less from Loki. They have never disappointed. I'm very excited for this. So the premise is that it's not the Loki that died in Infinity War, but it's the Loki who invaded New York. So it's the Loki from a different time. He hasn't gone through all of his redemption and all of that. So he's still very much the mischievous, stabbing everybody in the back. I think I should have power because I'm special kind of person. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Is he going to go through another redemption arc, or are we just going to have mischievous Loki the whole time? I mean, he can be mischievous and be redeemed, don't get me wrong. That's the wonderfulness of Loki. But it's, I don't know where they're going to go with it. So that will be fun to see. The other thing I wanted to mention is that this has always been very interesting to me personally, this whole Loki and Thor and Asgard and all of that, because I'm actually quite familiar with Norse mythology. And I know that obviously the MCU is based off their version in the comics, but that version is based off of the mythology where you do have a Thor and a Loki and an Odin and a Freya and a Heimdall and pretty much all of the characters, the Dark Elves, Jotunheim, all of that. That's from mythology. But what is different, what they did in the comics, and you see it in the movies, is that they make Loki and Thor brothers. In mythology, Loki is actually Odin's brother. He's his blood brother. They're not actually related, but and they know the whole time that Loki is a Jotun, but Odin, he's like the most beautiful one he's ever seen. Odin, like, and he's very clever. So I think they save each other's life or something. I can't remember exactly. And they essentially make a blood oath and they become blood brothers. So technically he's Thor's uncle in the mythology. But him and Thor do go on a lot of quests together because Thor is not very smart. He's, brute force, and Loki's the clever one. So then you put them together, they can usually get themselves out of any situation. But in the mythology, Loki basically just, because he is a Jotun at heart, he gives into his evilness over time because that's who he really is. And then there's this whole struggle which leads to the end of the world actually, because Odin and all of them realize they have to deal with Loki, but they can't because he's Odin's blood brother. Like they share each other's blood. You can't, they can't. And so oaths get broken and the end of the world happens and it's awful. So anyway, so I knew all that before watching all of this stuff. So it's very interesting for me to see the Marvel interpretation of the mythology. And obviously in Marvel they're gods but not gods, kind of. It's weird. Everything is always confusing. So here we are. We've got the Loki show. Usually I would be watching this with my husband, and I actually offered to him to do this with me. Um, but what he and I both know truly at heart is that he doesn't react to things, so he would not be a very interesting reactor. And it takes him a long time to process and think about things, so he wouldn't be able to talk about it right away. He just kind of so like here's an example. Falcon and Winter Soldier, and we watched WandaVision, that all of those together. And every single time I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, I want to talk about it. I've got things to say. And I'd be talking and talking and talking, and he just agreeing. And later he'll come back and he'll say things after he's had time to think about it. Um, and then the other thing too is he's not much of a reactor. So like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when we were watching that. Like episode 4, spoiler alert, when the new Captain America, John Walker, kills the guy with the shield in the broad daylight and everybody sees it and gets it on their phones and all that stuff. I was like screaming at the TV. I was like, no! I'm like, not with the shield! Not with the shield! Not with the shield! And then like freaking out, and my husband was just sitting there. Mm. Yeah, he's kind of like deadpan. I mean, he's reacting on the inside, I'm sure. He's just not very expressive. We probably look crazy next to each other. Anyway, I have gotten so sidetracked. Let's get back to watching the show. 52 minutes, it says. I'm guessing there's some good portion of that is credits. I think I remember WandaVision's credits were like 7 minutes long. So we're probably looking at a 45-minute episode here. All right, enough talking. Let's go ahead and watch. Here is Loki, Season 1, Episode 1, titled Glorious Purpose. We're going to see the scene from Endgame.
On my way down to coordinate search and rescue.
Yeah,
On my way down to coordinate search and rescue. I mean, honestly.
Here we go. I just love that he's the only one that notices what's going on this whole time. That's a beautiful shot. Whoa. That's not real, is it, though? There's no way. I mean, the bug's definitely not real. I don't know if that drop of water was real. It was very pretty. Gobi Desert, Mongolia. Oh, so we're still on Earth. Ah! That's one way to come out of a portal. Nice landing.
And I am burdened with glorious...
He loves this line. Uh-oh. Oh, here they are.
Never mind.
He's like, wrong people. Saw her in the trailer.
Appears to be a stand on behalf of the Time Variance Authority. I hereby arrest you for crimes against the sacred timeline. Hands up. You're coming with us.
The sacred timeline.
sorry.
That's interesting. Ah! Ah! Oh my god. Oh my gosh!
They're moving at 1/16th speed, but feeling all that pain in real time.
Ouch. That's a cool weapon. You don't mess with her.
Know this. You cross me, there are deadly consequences.
Oh my gosh.
We'll see.
I forget, this is old Loki. He's just so arrogant and unrightfully so. He hasn't exactly won at anything. Is this a scene from the trailer? We going nude Tom Hiddleston right now?
Absolutely not. This is fine Asgardian leather.
It's interesting that he is so attached to the Asgardian leather at this point in time.
Now, hang on just
Oh.
Please confirm to your knowledge that you are not a fully robotic being. We're born an organic creature and do in fact possess what many cultures would call a soul.
What? To my knowledge. Do a lot of people not know if they're robots?
Thank you for your confirmation. Please move through.
The implication. Sorry, I was just thinking about it.
What if I was a robot and I didn't know it?
The machine would melt you from the inside out.
Okay.
Now he's just questioning his whole life existence. Did it just take his picture?
Take a ticket.
Is it so hard for people to follow the rules? Story of my life. I have a 2-year-old, so, you know, rule following is really hard in this house.
Long ago, there was a vast
I feel like I'm like on a ride at Disneyland.
timelines battled each other, but sometimes people like you veer off the path the timekeepers created. We call those variants.
Okay.
Maybe you started an uprising, or were just late for work. Whatever it was, stepping off your path created a nexus event, which left unchecked could branch off into
Being late
madness,
for work?
leading to
Cow.
another multiversal war. Sit tight, and we'll get you in front of a judge in no time. Just make sure you have
It's
your
like a
ticket and you'll
Disneyland
be
ride,
seen by
and
the
it's
next
like
available
Mr.
attendant.
DNA from the Jurassic Park
For
movie.
all time. Always.
Can't. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh! That was in the trailer, too. So much of this first, like, 10 minutes is in the trailer.
Thanks for
Do you have your ticket, Loki? There you go. Yeah. AXN province, France. Are we spending the whole time in Arthur? 1549.
Minutemen responded to a routine next.
So there's gonna be some mysterious villain.
Mon ami, il est
Is
imbécile. Yo.
it gonna be like an evil Loki and he's gonna have to fight himself? But they just did that in WandaVision. I'm not gonna do that again. Yee. Mephisto? Everyone was so obsessed with Mephisto in WandaVision.
Loki Laufeyson is charged with sequence violation 72089.
Laufey son of Laufey.
How do you plead?
That's why Thor is Odin's son of Odin.
Madam, a god.
How do you plead?
Guilty. Of this.
What are you doing? Dude, you don't have your magic. What were you gonna do exactly?
What's going on?
Hang on. Everyone quiet.
You have no idea, do you, Loki? There's so much more you don't understand.
Home sweet home.
I thought there was no magic here. There isn't. This place is a nightmare.
That's another department. Now that department I'll help you burn down.
I can tell right now that Owen Wilson is going to be the best part of the show.
I'm Agent Mobius, by the way.
I love being Tom Hiddleston, but
After you.
there's like so many directions this could go in. I'm so intrigued.
Loki, the king of space.
Mock me if you dare.
No, I'm not.
I mean, Loki, you ain't no Thanos.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm wondering why does someone with so much range just want to rule?
A very good question.
It's funny, for someone born to rule, you sure do lose a lot. Might even say it's in your nature.
I said that earlier.
Things didn't turn out so well for the last person who said that to me.
Then am I not your mother?
Don't do this. You're gonna make me cry. The one person he loved.
Always so perceptive about everyone but yourself.
Don't do that. That's mean.
I don't believe you. You're lying. It's not true.
It's your turning
is
point,
true.
Loki.
That's the proper flow of time, and it happens again and again and again because it's supposed to, because it has to. You weren't born to be king, Loki. You were born to cause pain and suffering and death. That's how it is. That's how it was. That's how it will be. All so that others can achieve their best versions of themselves.
He's there to make them better. That's hard. That's rough. Glorious purpose. He did have a glorious purpose.
What are you doing?
I feel like they're way too laissez-faire about the Tesseract. What else is in there? What else is it?
What? Infinity Stones?
What?
How do you have these?
Because it doesn't matter, Loki. That's the point. It's not about the details. The details are not important. There's so much more. There's so much more. I don't know if this is a good idea, Loki. Are you looking ahead? Why are you trying to make me cry again? Stop!
I love you, my sons. Remember this place. Home.
Not cool.
Maybe you're not so bad after all, brother.
Maybe not.
No! Why are you doing this to me, Marvel? I gotta go back to work after this.
You should choose your words more carefully.
No.
I can't go back, can I? Back to my timeline.
No. It's not your timeline anymore.
I don't enjoy hurting people.
Good. Be honest.
Because it's part of the illusion. It's the cruel, elaborate trick conjured by the weak to inspire fear.
The desperate play for control.
A villain.
That's not how I see it.
It's not that clear. It's not that cut and dry.
Fugitive variant's been killing our Minutemen.
And you need the god of mischief to help you stop them.
That's right.
Why me?
The variant we're hunting is you.
I knew it! I thought they were gonna draw that out for longer, but I knew it! It's stabbing with knives, obviously. Come on. But which variant is it? He must be earlier in the timeline? Is he more cruel?
Time signature is early 3rd millennium. Definitely anachronistic.
I've never heard that word actually used
Think some jackass
out loud.
off a time machine came back here to get rich.
I see it all the time on IMDb trivia. Anachronisms.
It's not worth the paperwork.
Well,
Just prune it, let's bail.
goofs and stuff.
Set a charge. Get down!
I mean, that's very, very mischievous, Loki. If you end the... Of course. Alright, first episode of Loki done, which was very interesting. I don't have too much to say on it, to be honest. I was a little bit disappointed that it seemed a bit slow for an opener, and maybe part of that was I felt like I had almost seen the entire episode through the trailers and the various clips that had been released, and obviously the fact that it opened with a scene from the movies. So I wasn't even able to have genuine reactions to a lot of the stuff because I'd already seen it before. I would say probably felt like half the episode. And it felt like it took a really long time to do setup. I particularly, though, very much liked the interactions between Owen Wilson's Mr. Mobius and Tom Hiddleston's Loki, and they they played really well off of each other. Their sort of solo scene together was probably my favorite part, where he was trying to get Loki to be honest and talk about why does he hurt people, and it took him a really long time to get him to open up, and made him cry and made me cry, and had to revisit all the sad moments from his life, um but show him all the happy things too. Like, he a lot of why he did what he did was because he felt less than others in his family, and he felt lied to, obviously, about who he really was, which made him feel like an outsider, made him feel like he didn't belong. And I felt like everything that he did after that was to find a place to belong. And so it was nice that he got to see that, he reconciled with Thor, and he reconciled with Odin, and Odin even called him his son, and Thor calls him his brother and tells him how he always knew he was good in him. And it's nice to see that. I mean, even though I already knew that because we saw the movies, but it's nice to see it again, and that he gets to see that even if he's not going to live that some version of him does get to find that family that he didn't really feel part of. So that's nice. And that scene was definitely really moving. I really love his I don't know if we want to call her his handler. She was quite funny in their interactions, and then him getting back at her at the end was also quite entertaining as well. Um, there's something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, so one thing I've heard recently, I was trying to look for it in the credits when they show Loki's like document stuff by the TVA, because I know I've seen it online, and I wasn't looking at I didn't look at it specifically, but I've seen people post about how he's confirmed as being gender fluid, I think was the term, and how everyone was so excited about that. But if you're, as I was talking about at the beginning of the episode, like, I actually know the mythology background, and he's gender fluid in mythology, so that's actually not new. So he is a shapeshifter. A lot of the Jotuns are in mythology, and he like half the time shapeshifts into other females instead of males. And actually the other gods will make fun of him when he turns into a female, and he actually has uh he I was just about to say he fathers a child that way, but that doesn't make sense. If he changed into a female, he has a child. He mothers a child. Actually, it's a horse. But anyway, that's that's a really weird story. I'm sure that makes no sense to absolutely any of you who know nothing about Norse mythology. So I should probably clear that up really quickly. um, Essentially, the story was they were trying to distract a male horse. So Loki turned into a female horse to distract him. And distracting him essentially is implied that means you took him away and they had sex, because then next time they see Loki, Loki's got a little baby horse that has 8 legs. It's mythology. That's his child. He also fathers several monsters and other things like that. So, it's all fun times all around. Last thing I wanted to mention, because I totally called it. They were in that church and they were like attacked with knives, and I'm like, that's Loki. There's no one else who attacks with knives that I'm aware of. Well, I guess Bucky's good with the knife, but he's not in this show. So what's going for that? So either it was just gonna be a new character, or I thought it was gonna be another version of Loki. I didn't think that they were gonna reveal that in the first episode, but I feel vindicated that they did. But at the same time, I didn't actually think that they would go that way, because that means that we're building towards a Loki on Loki fight, which would be interesting. But I feel like we just got that with Vision on Vision, so it's not as exciting. I mean, I'm sure it will be fine, but I feel like his time with the TVA is gonna be I think it's gonna be one big therapy session. Isn't that, I mean, that's all of these shows have been like that. So WandaVision was a therapy session for Wanda. Falcon and Winter Soldier was a therapy session for Sam and Bucky. And this is going to be like a therapy session for Loki. Everyone has issues to work out, and we don't have time to do it in the movies, so we're doing it in the shows. That's so much fun. So we can all sit and cry alone in our homes instead of sniffling back your tears in the theater and trying not to let the strangers next to you know that you're crying. That's good. Thanks, Marvel. Appreciate it. Now I can just close all my curtains and sit with my box of tissues. That's good. That's good. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up now because I'm just grasping at straws at this point. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. You don't want to miss any of our upcoming content. We're going to continue watching Loki each week, each Wednesday. I'm going to try to make sure I get it out on Wednesday. I am also doing reactions for Stranger Things Season 3. I'm catching up. I started reactions for Sabrina, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. We'll see if we continue that. And then I've also got a ton of gaming content on my channel. So check it all out. Lots of good stuff for everybody. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye, folks.